Hey everyone, you're here with Mark Bowell at perfectgardens.com. So today I'm going to be talking about a complete foliar spray program. When I say complete, I mean it's taking care of your complete IPM, your bugs, your mold, powdery mildew. It's giving supplemental CO2, and it's providing you all the trace minerals as well as all the beneficial bacteria your plants need to thrive. Second, we're going to talk a little bit about a complete soil health program. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure to check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Our $2.99 membership is available on the join button below. And if you need a little more one-on-one, our VIP link is down below in every video description. Make sure to hit the join button on the bottom of every video. I am not a big proponent in selling you a lot of products. I'm a big proponent on selling you products that are going to be like regenerative. I hope I said that word right. It's going to keep your soil alive. It's going to be fixing long-term problems. And at some point, we're going to be, if we do things to the best of our ability, we're not going to have to keep repurchasing these products, because once you get life going again, it should take care of itself. It's only when we introduce or infect the environment with chlorine or chloramines or a dirty soil, or dirty environment, dirty water, that these ecosystems begin to break down. The good thing is that if you get it back going, even if you do introduce some toxins, the beneficial bacteria and fungi normally can amend it or fix the problem fairly quickly. The steps we have to do is really just get things back into a state where they are strong enough to take care of themselves. Right now, in many situations, it's not, because of what we've done over the years to destroy our soil systems, and especially how we grow nowadays with just a soilless media. Everything's sterile, and so we have to actually reintroduce these things back in. So let's talk the first thing about the complete IPM solution. So first thing, you're going to be treating your water with 4 mLs per gallon of drops of balance. Remember guys, before you add in drops of balance, you have to pH your water between 5.8 and 6.8. Doesn't matter whether you're using tap water or RO or distilled water. If you are using RO or distilled water, there's a good chance you can reduce the pH under 6.8 by just agitating that water pretty heavily. At that point, when you agitate the water, it will release CO2 pretty easily. And when it drops below 6.8, when you add in the drops of balance, it will stabilize it. And then when you add in the Terraganics and the recharge, you'll once again further stabilize that water, so it's not so pH squirrely. Second, you're going to be mixing in OrganiShield. OrganiShield you'll be mixing in at 40 mLs per gallon. And then the Terraganics, which is the bacteria, at 1 ounce per gallon. You can mix these two together, and they will actually stay in a state where they're not going to break down until used. Or let's say you premix 2 gallons and you only use 1 gallon. That's fine. Just put it to the side. It'll still be good a week or two later. You only want to add Terraganics into the water when you're ready to use it, because these are bacteria, and so you want to keep it in their concentrated bottle form right over here, the EM1, and once again until you're ready to use it. These you can premix them in a gallon. They'll stay good. And whenever you introduce beneficial bacteria into the situation, it takes a life on its own. So why do I call this a complete IPM supplement foliar spray program? It's because if you want to increase your photosynthesis, there's a couple minerals you need. You need phosphorus, you need magnesium, iron, manganese, nitrogen, CO2, and water. Okay, so first thing, phosphorus, magnesium, iron, manganese. Okay, you're going to get it right here in drops of balance. And then if you want a CO2, you're going to get it right here, because the OrganiShield actually it breaks down into CO2, water, and sugar. What's really interesting about this is that first, the OrganiShield is going to wipe out any bugs problems you have on the plants immediately. Second, it becomes a supplemental CO2 product for your plants. And third, because it has sugar, it ends up acting as a much more long-term IPM solution for bugs, is because the other thing you need for a complete IPM solution is integrated pest management, things that kill caterpillars, bugs, kills so many aphids, so many different types of things. The reasons why these bugs actually survive and are attracted to your plant is because basically the plant wasn't able to process all of the minerals that day in the 24-hour period. So when there's excess, it's actually left in a form where the bugs need to eat that form just because of their own digestive process. I don't want to get too complicated into that. That could be a later video. But the point to this is how you actually allow the plant to complete their coenzyme reactions faster is you need a couple minerals. You need magnesium, sulfur, molybdenum, and boron. And once again, all those are in drops of balance. In addition to that, you need sugar, which is this product right here as it breaks down. How you make these minerals available, first off, they're actually already available because they're in a water-soluble form, but how you take it to the next level is you actually want to create a situation where enzymes are being produced on a natural assembly line type situation. And how you do that is you have to introduce bacteria. And how bacteria work is, before they produce an enzyme, they actually need to produce a coenzyme. And what is a coenzyme? Well, the coenzyme is minerals, is trace minerals. So when you combine the trace minerals with the bacteria, they're actually able to produce complete enzyme reactions. That's why, and I'll give you an example on the significance behind this, right? A lot of products only have one or two bacteria. EM1 actually has 80 plus separate bacteria in this bottle. Each of these bacteria will actually, when completed, will produce a different enzyme reaction because of the different minerals that are on here. More often than not, we're only adding in NPK, calcium, magnesium, maybe there might be zinc or molybdenum we're starting to talk about, but drops of balance right here, there's 34 plus ionic sulfated trace minerals. What's actually really interesting about this is that the more dirtier the water, the more the trace minerals will fractionate things and create more trace minerals. So not to get too complicated into that, but the point to this is when you combine the 80 separate types of bacteria that are in EM1 with the 34 plus ionic sulfated trace minerals, it begins to create an exponential curve on the potential of the amount of enzyme reactions that are capable of being created in your system. And why is that significant? Well, it's significant because these enzymes are responsible for breaking apart the amino acids, and the amino acids are what creates peptides and proteins. And obviously proteins are your leaves, your flower production, just everything necessary. So when I call this a complete IPM supplemental CO2 foliar spray program, I would recommend spraying a minimum of every 7 to 10 days. Again, a lot of these products will recommend you to spray every 7 days, and if you want to, go ahead. For me, I'm a minimalist. If you could save money, this is where when you begin to combine all these products together, it creates an exponential curve experience. So again, if they say every 7 days, I'm actually going to recommend spraying every 10 days or 12 days, because I know when all these products are combined together, they actually enhance their ability to perform, and they just work better. So you should be able to use less of it. When I come back over here to the complete soil program, this is actually phenomenal too, right? So again, one of the biggest things you're going to notice different is the foliar spray. You're going to have to add in 4 mLs per gallon. And for soil, because roots are actually much more sensitive than the leaves, and you can imagine roots are under the ground, they're protected. The leaves are out being hit by the sun and dirt, and people are touching them, or wind. They're going to be able to handle a slightly stronger concentration, although the soil system is much more sensitive, and that's why you're going to be putting it at 1 ml per gallon if you're using tap water. Remember, if you're using RO water, you're actually going to only put in 0.5 mLs, a half of this concentration if you're using RO or distilled water. And if you're using and this is the instructions for the regular drops of balance. If you're using drops of balance concentrated, this one is actually twice as strong, and it's going to have a separate set of instructions. And so just remember that if you buy the concentrated, basically everything just goes in half. So for tap water, it would be zero point 0.5 mLs, and if it was RO water, it'd be 0.25 mLs per gallon. So twice as concentrated if you're buying the concentrated. Anyway, so for your soil system, so what does drops of balance do for your soil system? The most significant thing with using tap water is that the pesticides, the fungicides, and also more often than not, it's chlorinated. And when it's chlorinated, that's the killer for your soil biology. If it's chlorinated, it's going to kill your microbiology, and that's what you really need to neutralize immediately to make your terraganics and your recharge work. And that's why you always want to treat your water with it. It only takes a few seconds for the drops of balance to neutralize the chlorine. So after that, when you add it in at 1 ml per gallon, it will actually keep working in the soil system, and your bacteria and your fungi will work together. So once again, and this is for drip irrigation, all of these products are water soluble. So I have to double check on the Terraganics on how well they'll run through drip, but I know the drops balance works phenomenal. If you do use the Terraganics and the recharge and you inoculate your soil systems, how you keep these two things alive and working throughout your entire grow is by providing clean mineralized water. Okay, so back to the instructions: 1 ml per gallon for drops of balance. Terraganics, you'll be putting in 1 ounce per gallon, and for the recharge, you'll be putting in a half teaspoon per gallon of water. When you combine these two things together, you never ever, the maximum ever you're going to ever want to go over on. And of course, there's going to be crop specific. Some are going to be much lower, some might be able to take a little bit more, but that good safe range I highly recommend people do is to really never go above 750 parts per million, whether you're using synthetic or you're using dry amendments. And this is for inputs when you're feeding your plants. When you combine all these things together, these three, and you treat your water and you get your soil system or your microbiology going, your nutrient fertilizer actually makes your microbiology go dormant around 800 to 900 parts per million. And so what I've found, the best grows this year in all of my grow clients, he was feeding a maximum of around 550 parts per million this entire year. So that's why I say never go above 750 parts per million for when you're treating your water for your feed system, for your roots. Make sure your foliar sprays program is going to be slightly different, and all the products are found on dropsofbalance.com or also on perfectgardens.com. If you do go and purchase over at dropsofbalance.com, make sure to type in the discount code PG10 for your discount. Thank you so much, and have a great grow, everyone. What is it all about?
Sure, absolutely. Now, Lost Coast Plant Therapy is, I believe they're based in California, and I know they have a pretty big market share in some places. Essentially, we'll go over the ingredients first, and then we'll go through the instructions and go a little bit about it. It is another one of the ones that has oils.